Hi, this is BB from clutterclearinglifecoaching.com, and I want to make a short video today about expecting the best out of yourself rather than assuming the worst is going to occur. What happens exactly what's the difference between the two, right? It's you are expecting the best. You want to expect the best. Now, what will cause us to not do that? What would cause us to be afraid of even having an elevated expectancy of having a decent outcome, much less to have the best outcome? Fear. Fear that you're going to let you down. Fear that you're going to disappoint you. Fear that you are not good enough. Fear that it's going to fail yet again. Fear that there are too many complications. That fear that you're not seeing the biggest picture possible and you've looked at it from every single angle. But you still have that fear. Dreading something, being apprehensive, being fearful, but you don't know exactly of what. So that fear is now locked in place instead of you dealing with the situation as it is, as opposed to what the fear, this veneer, that this fear is now you're acting under or behind this veneer of the fear. And the veneer is just paper thin. All it takes is just a gentle shove and it goes away. But we don't do that because we feel the fear is protecting us. So instead of expecting the best, we go to assuming the worst because it feels safer. It's safe, isn't it? You're not going to get your hopes up. You're not going to have them dashed. You're not going to have them driven into the ground and stomped, have somebody stomp on them. You're not going to get your heart broken. You're not going to be dealing with any aftermath of failing or losing like a loser, looking like a loser in front of your family and friends and in the person in the mirror. You're not going to be dealing with any financial losses or dealing with something that's going to cause your feelings to get hurt. So you keep your expectations low, and then it goes from low to almost nothing at all, and then it goes from nothing at all to assuming the worst. And then you start to feel a little bit of safety with that. But how many dreams have died in assuming the worst? How many people got stumped with assuming the worst and never took a step towards achieving anything in that direction that they really, really want to? Lots of people have had dreams that just died in that state. Is that fair to you? Is that fair to what you can accomplish? Is that fair to people that you could potentially help? Is that fair to people that you could potentially show the way of what is needed to be done? Because you could be setting an example to your family members. You could, by being successful, getting past the veneer that comes up, you show your family members, even though they will not admit it to save their lives, you're showing them it can be done. You could be the next pioneer of your relatives and your circle of friends without knowing it, because somebody actually broke past their veneer, and that was you. So expecting the best, the fears that lurks underneath, pretending that it's keeping us safe, that we have low expectancy to no expectancy to feeling outright pessimistic, is the safest way to go. But many dreams have not been realized and actualized because of that. So what do we do when something is important to us and we really want to take action, we really want to move forward, we really want to put some plan in motion and actually see it through to the end? what do we do when the fear now that we have created in our mind becomes the dominant force? What do we do? This is where a therapist comes in handy. This is where a life coach comes in handy. This is where a motivation coach comes in handy, or any type of coach. Depends on what area of your life that you want to move forward in, but you're holding yourself back. And life coaching, which is what I do, we have an array of different tools and methods to help pivot you forward almost effortlessly to the next stage of your life, where it's elevated, where you can get the job done and you do it almost effortlessly. And what does it mean? I always say it effortlessly, and I will deal with this in the next video. What does effortless creation mean, or effortless pivoting to the next state? It simply means the absence of resistance. And what is resistance? Thoughts and fears of why, what we're discussing, why you don't want to do what you do, what you really want to do, what's holding you back. And they seem very valid. And the longer you look at them is the more solidified they become. But then it spreads like wildfire to almost every area of your life, and that's when the problem comes. Because it becomes an escape, a pattern that you just created. But getting back to what I'm focusing on is expecting the best. How do you get to that place where you start to not only feel a sense of relief because you're not walking around in this part over here where you're just assuming the worst? Because who wants to take action if you're assuming the worst outcome? No one. But you need this thing done. You know you have what it takes. You know who you are. You know who you would like to be within 6 months. But you're afraid of something that holds you locked in place behind this veneer, which is not helping you. It lies to you. It's pretending it makes you feel safe, or it's keeping you safe, and it's not. There's no safety. There's just stagnation. So if you need my help getting past whatever is blocking you from being the best that you can be, assuming the best, and I do understand my coaching goes step by step. You cannot go from 1 to 10. You will go from 1 to 2 to 3, and then at some point at 5 it becomes automatic without you thinking, because you've now crossed the street from assuming the worst to knowing that you're capable for the best, that you have what it takes and you're ready to move forward. Just accessing that part of your mind that pivots you forward, because you're no longer fearful of failing, for assuming every bad, negative, horrible thing on this side of the street. You're ready to move forward. So I will put the description, in the description part of this video, I will put the link to my website, which is clutterclearinglifecoaching.com. That's clearing away the clutter, which is what we will do. clutterclearinglifecoaching.com. Make sure you look over my website. It has a small portion of tools and methods that I use to get you to the next state of your being. And put your phone number. I will call you as soon as I'm able to, and we will devise a plan on how to get you there. Until my next video, peace.